to, I can't believe I am saying this, but our November book chat. Y'all, we have gotten through, this is our 11th one for the year. Like, we are about to be in a whole new year, and that's super crazy because I feel like we just left November. Actually, it's December now when I'm recording this, but I feel like we just left December. We just stopped talking about like our meeting our reading goals and, you know, wrapping up our holiday book reads or choosing our holiday book reads, and like we're here again, and it's crazy how quickly time flies. But hey, at least we're doing it, reading good books. And I have some books to talk to you guys about that I read in the month of November. The first one being 13 Months Haunted. Now, I actually started reading this one in October, but I didn't finish it until November, which it kind of sucks because I'm like trying to remember back. Like, I start reading it, and you start reading any book in a month, and then like you don't finish it by the end of that month. So now you have to wait like the entire other month. Or not even the entire other month, but like a longer period of time. Well, yeah, because I finished this. No, I started reading in October, but I finished it at the beginning of November. Yeah. So like you start reading a book like in a month, you finish it, you don't finish it at the end of that month, but you finish it at the top of the next month. And then it's like, wait a second, I have to wait like all these weeks to share my thoughts. But I will say, I was definitely anticipating Guliano's new release, 13 Months Haunted. He wrote like hands down one of my favorite horrors. Like, Dead 11 is still one of my favorite horrors. Like, I don't feel like there is a horror that I have that's better than Dead 11. Second place would be You Know Her by Megan Jeanette. I love that one. So I was really excited about this one. And it was not Dead 11, and this is only his second book. I did enjoy it, but I feel like, okay, this book is basically about a woman. Oh, it actually starts, and I completely forgot this, with an interview. So there's this woman who's basically, the entire book is her retelling what happened to her back years and years and years ago. So basically, this guy, and I can't even remember his name because you only hear his name like right at the beginning and right at the end. It's one of her cousins, and he's at this wedding, and he's talking to like a family member, and he's like, they're talking about catching up what he's doing in school, and he's like, yeah, I'm about to write this paper, and I think the paper is like, viral stories and how it's affected the world and everything like that. And this person's like, oh, like, I can't even remember her name. What is her name? I want to say her name is Piper, but I don't think that girl name is Piper. Lordy, Lord. No, her name is Piper. So Piper, she doesn't really hang out around her family, and they're like, oh yeah, Piper went viral, back in the 2000s, blah, 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 about, this, haunted situation back, whenever. So he's like, oh, do you think she would like want to allow me to interview her for my paper and all that kind of stuff? So he goes to her, and she starts telling him this story about what happened. This book, for me, I felt moved slow. And we actually read this as a part of our book club at work. Like, we have this, just fun book club that we pick books and we read it. And this was the pick. And my friend, he thought it moved fast. I personally did not. Though I did enjoy reading it, there wasn't like a lot of action, like kind of back to back to back. Like, it was more of a slow moving horror. This horror also just pissed me off because I really don't understand why people just feel the need to do things that they are not supposed to do, and how other people feel the need to talk about stuff they ain't got no business talking about. Because I feel like that's what people do nowadays in social media. People will post anything. Some things you just need to keep to yourself. And that's what this book makes me think of. Like, why would you share that story? Why? Like, you shouldn't have done it. But it was an okay one. It was not my favorite, but I did like the ending, and this book will definitely give you vibes of a movie. I don't want to say it, but my friend from work, he was like, yeah, I'm getting like a certain movie vibe. And so I was like, do you mean da 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 da? And he was like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I was like, I get it. So it does give movies of a horror movie that came out. It might have actually came out in the 2000s, honestly. But gives you those vibes when you're reading this. So I did like that tie-in. And yeah, I did love all the nostalgia here because it's right around the time when the internet becomes popular and things like that. So if you're in for that, yes. But I do think his book, Dead 11, is better than this. Now, I absolutely love this book. This is my first cozy read of November, and it was worth it. I was already looking for when's the next book. She already has 2 coming out. I think one comes out like in January, February, something, and like the next one comes out like in November of next year or whatever. But she already has 2 in the queue. The next one is like, I think either The Murder at Daffodil Inn or something like that. But first of all, so cute of a book. This author, I ordered this book from Blackwell in the UK. I thought this was a Black UK author. Actually, no, I just thought it was a UK author. I did not know that the author of this book was Black, which actually made me very happy because one reason I don't have like a lot of Black murder, horror, or thriller authors because what I don't want to read about is Black trauma. So if the book, the horror or the mystery or like the thrill is related to like, so for example, the book When No One's Watching, I actually really do like that book. But part of what, and it's by Alyssa Cole, I do like that book. But the thing was like a lot of the issues, well, like basically it's about this book where people in Brooklyn, it's either Brooklyn or Harlem, but basically the Black people who have lived there all their lives start disappearing. And you have like the white folks are moving in and the Black folks are being looked at weird and talked down in the content. And like you got the issues like with the cops and how, and it's just like, I don't want to read that. Reading is my happy place. So I feel like if it's not that, it's something connected to like slavery time and all. So I would love more Black authors, but I need them to, like, I need the mystery, the thrill, or the horror to not be related to anything like that. And this gave me that. So when I was reading the book, I was like, first few pages, I was like, wait, is this character Black? Is she a Black woman? I kept reading and I was like, she's a Black woman. And it was, Black woman, good family, has a job. Something changes in her life. She's from this small town, and it's called A Cinnamon Falls Mysteries by R.L. Killmore. Something happens in her life that brings her back to this town that she hasn't been to. She hasn't seen her family in a long time because there was this disagreement. It definitely gives Hallmark vibes because it's describing like the stores and the neighborhood feel and all of this. There is romance in this book, and your girl's not a romance girl, but if you put it in a mystery, I'm there for it. All the things. I really like this book, and the other thing I like about this book, well, somebody basically gets murdered. Did it break my heart when I found out who got murdered? Yes, because I was not expecting it to be them, and I was like, no, I wanted to know more about that character and the relationships and all the things we're going to talk about. But someone basically gets murdered, and she's like, this person is really big in their community, and she's like, no, I need to figure this out. And when all the things unravel, honey, there's so much going on in this community. But it does have this one I can't really remember too many trigger warnings in this one. In this one, however, they do talk about suicide is brought up in this book. Marital relationships, I'll say that is brought up in this book. And then I'm trying to think because I feel like there's no like zero language, almost like I don't even think they say like hell or damn or anything. Those might be the only 2. I thought it was a third one. So there are some deeper topics that are touched on, which is what I like. So it's super cozy and super cute and it gives Hallmark vibes, but a little deeper than that. And the other thing I like about this mystery, sometimes you're reading a mystery, it's so good, and then it gets to the end, you find out what's going on, you find out the killer, and it just wraps up and it ends. It actually flushed out the ending of this book, and it made me love it so much more because I was really like, oh my gosh, it's giving me a good ending versus it gets to the end and it kind of cuts you off, and I'm like, no. There were a whole bunch of other things happening. I'm going to need y'all to run it back. But this one, tons of things are uncovered in this community. It is great. I love it. And I literally am like, I can't wait till the next book drops because this one was amazing. And she is, I thought, she's a younger, looking woman. So I was like, that's so awesome. And she is actually from, I think, like Atlanta, or she lives in Atlanta or something like that. So yes, definitely love this one. The next one, I also started this one in the month of October, and I didn't finish it until the beginning of this month. This is my guy, Stephen Graham Jones. I'm going to tell you there are 2 books in this one. One, I'm like, what the entire heck did I just read, Stephen? That one is The Babysitter Lives. I was not a big fan of The Babysitter Lives, especially when it got to the end, because I'm like, sometimes, Stephen, you just need to give us an easier ending than that. This book kind of played between 2 worlds, which got confusing sometimes throughout the book. And it's one of the, so basically this girl is a babysitter. She's a babysitter at this home. These kids kind of tell her about these secret portals, and then that's when it just goes bonkers. And there are trigger warnings. There is sexual, basically assault happening in this book. Language, issues with children's lives being taken. So that is in this book. So definitely a lot of triggers for this story. It was just not my favorite. And honestly, I be trying to I feel like I always try to find like a way to explain Stephen Graham Jones's books. And this one I really just did not like. I did not like it, and it got to the end and I was like, okay, I have to suffer through this story, but I feel like I'm gonna like this ending. And then Stephen did what Stephen did, and with this book I just couldn't deal with it. So it's not my favorite. Now this one, because this is a double saga, but I think you can buy them separately. I don't know, this is how it was at Barnes when I got it. Killer on the Road. This one I actually did like. Now yes, there were some parts where he pissed me off, but this gave true thriller horror vibes. So this girl, she is Native American. She is she's part Native American, part white. She's running away from home. She has problems with her family. And this entire story takes place on the interstate. The entire thing. Just up and down this interstate. When I tell you, Stephen takes people out without a thought. Certain people that I was just like, wait a minute, did that person really just get killed? So basically there is a killer on the road. The killer is going to be very surprising because this killer has certain talents and can do certain things. So it's one of those where you got to kind of stay on your toes. I enjoyed this one a lot. The ending, something that happens at the end really did piss me off. And I'm like, Stephen, can you just let people be happily ever after? But this one did not stop like this one. This one, though, it was one of those endings where I didn't like that happened, but overall I'm okay. And I am still trying to figure out some of what happened at the end of the story as to when the pieces were put together and actually how or what did you use to make that happen. But this was actually a very good and exciting one. I enjoyed it. I feel like this moved way faster than this did. I was always invested and always interested in Killer on the Road. The next one, the book's so good, I bought it twice, y'all. A Murder for Miss Hortense by Mel Pennant. This is by a London-born, but she's Jamaican. Her parents are Jamaican, but she's born in London, so she's living there. She wrote this book, and yes, she already has another one coming out. Yes, I already have it on my list. This is such a good mystery written by a Black author, highlighting Black people. Now, I will say this book here, what I love about her writing, and it was kind of hard at first because, of course, if you're not Jamaican, you don't know all of those terms. So some terms she was using, and I was like, I don't even know what this is. But as you read the book, you figure out what's going on. But basically, it's about this woman named Miss Hortense, and she was a part of what's called a partner. And basically, it was just a way that they raise money for the community. So the book starts off and it starts off in the present, but it goes back in time. But basically, a part of this group wasn't just financial help for the Black community. inside of their neighborhood, but it also ended up turning into them solving crimes. And that's what she likes to do. She likes to solve these crimes and mysteries because, of course, the cops were not really doing their job back in that time. So it goes to the past, it comes back to the present. So many things were uncovered in this one. There's not a whole lot of language, but I think there is some. There is, in this one, I'm trying to think. Of course, we know that there's murder, but I'm trying to think if there was any one that might be super triggering, and I don't believe so. I'm trying to remember. I don't believe so. But this one had so many twists and turns and so many things that had to be uncovered. And it was just delightful. Like, it was such an easy read. The chapters went by very, very fast. And then as soon as you pick up on like the language and the words that you may not know, it all works out great. So I definitely enjoyed this one. And I can't wait for the next one. And Janice Hallett, who I'm actually reading a book by right now, she wrote the, is it the Apperton Angels? And her books are all written in like text, email, message board, like those types of conversations. There's no like just, words like this. Everything is some type of communication. The one I'm reading now is called The Christmas Appeal, and it is freaking hilarious. So Janice said this book was your new favorite literary sleuth, and she was right. I highly, highly enjoyed that one. Next one I read was Figment. Yes, this is my favorite. Well, not my favorite character. He's like my second favorite character. My first favorite character of Epcot is the Sunshine Bird. Figment is my second, so I did get this book because I'm like, oh, Figment, I like him, so I read it. It's cute. I'm back on my children's book, like, grind. So I read that one and it was cute and I loved it, just like the ride. The next one I read is the Medusa Protocol by Rob Hart. He wrote Assassins Anonymous, and Rob Hart does it again. Like, this book was so good. To me, I feel like he gives me Richard Osman, like the man can't miss. And he did not miss in this one either. Really easy, quick reads. Definitely language. There could be some triggering things. So Assassins Anonymous, the first book. Do you have to read the first book to understand the second one? I would say read the first one because yes, you can follow this one, but there's a lot of backstory about the characters that you should know. I feel like you need to get to know them before you get here. So basically, this book is about Astrid, and she is a former assassin, just like all of the other ones. And Astrid is in book 1, and at the I'm not gonna tell you, but anyway, and throughout the book, she comes connected to this group. So basically, she is missing. So in this group, because they are old, like, former assassins, anytime like somebody doesn't show up, they either think that person has gone back to like being an assassin or they've been killed, because that's the life they live. So it's like when people don't show up, they worry. Astrid does not show up to a meeting, and the main guy, Mark, literally is like, okay, something's going on, like we need to figure it out. And Astrid has actually been taken to this island and she's being experimented on. So that's pretty much in the jacket. And she, of course, the point of Assassins Anonymous is to not kill. So she has to get herself out of that situation without killing anybody. And then Mark and the rest of the crew has to figure out how they can help her, how they can find her, and how they can get to her without killing anybody. So it is a very good book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was on like the edge of my seat. And this one has some moments, literally, even like with Assassins Anonymous, that literally made my heart go, oh no. Like, so it's so crazy because it's a book about assassins, but it makes you feel something in your heart. So, very, very good book. What people will do to other people, like, crazy, but loved it. Can't wait to the third one. I was really excited when I saw this because I didn't know it was going to be a series. So when I saw this in the bookstore, like, I think end of last year, I was like, I gotta get it. The last one I read, another series. So this is a returning author for me, Spencer Quinn, Ms. Planksy Goes Rogue. I read the first book in this series, which is called Ms. Plansky's Revenge. I actually did that one on audiobook. I actually read this one. I will say I do like the first one better. And I think what I like about the first one is the first one seemed to have more action and like danger. So in the first book, Miss Planksy gets scammed and she's like, heck no, you're not going to take my money. I've worked too hard. She goes all the way to like, I think Romania, and like she like finds these people. This lady is like 70 something years old. She finds these people and you know, she's like, hey, I'm going to handle my business. Read that one. It's amazing. Do you have to read them in order? No, but that one's super good. And that one out of the two is still like, that's my favorite. But this one was more, it wasn't as thrilling. Like, I still enjoyed reading the book, but like I said, in that first one, it was like, oh my gosh, are they going to figure out who she is? Or she's trying to get information from this person. Is that going to turn bad? This one, I feel like there wasn't a lot of danger. There's one scene where it was just like, okay, is this going to go left? And then at the end, well, actually, no, I'll say 3 scenes. There are 3 scenes where I feel like this could go bad, but the majority of the book, I felt like it was more her like kind of doing some investigating and asking people questions, but it wasn't like that danger, that edge of your seat. Like, she wasn't like necessarily interacting so much, I feel like, with the people that she was trying to locate, whereas in the first one, it was like constant danger. And I don't know if it's because she was like in another country, so of course it's like you don't know anybody there, and you know there's like mafia-ish type, like maybe that's why that one constantly felt dangerous, because this one takes place where in the area that she lives in Florida. So, and she does travel to other places, but like I said, still a good book, still a good read, but I do think the other one had more edge of your seat. And this is like a low stakes thriller. Like, this is low stakes. This isn't low stakes, but it's not, it's more like action-y thriller type of book. Miss Hortense, low stake. Like, all of them that I read was pretty low stakes, except The Babysitter Lives and A Killer on the Road, where I don't feel like if you're not a thriller mystery person, like this would be too. I feel like these are good intro stories, and this is like a really good intro story. So it's low stakes type of thrill, and I think because it's already a low stakes type of thrill, the fact that this one didn't have as many edge of your seat moments, it just felt, you know, it's just like, okay, you're doing a mystery, but you're not really in it, except for, like I said, like 3 particular scenes where it's like, okay, how is she going to get out of the situation? But I still enjoy it. I still can't wait to read the 3rd one. You also get more visibility to her dad in this one. We hear about him in the first one, so we get more about that, which was really funny. And like, I mean, he just tried her patience, and then even at the end, I was like, absolutely not, Loretta, don't go for it. But I did really enjoy it. It's just that first one seemed to have more action for me, but I'm still invested in the series, and I can't wait till the next one comes out because I'm going to get it. So these were my November reads. Like I said, most of them were low stakes because I did want to have a cozy November month. So except for the books that I rolled over from October, all of these are, I would say, are good for someone who is like wants to get into that genre but doesn't want anything too crazy. Any of these books except for 13 Months and then the Stephen Graham Jones would fit that bill. But yes, highly enjoyed all of my reads for the month. So I'm very excited about my Christmas reads. I'm already reading my first one, and I'm just like, this is cute, this is cozy, this is fun. I'm reading The Christmas Appeal. So that's the first one I'm reading. And I have another book, and this is the other thing, and I have to wait to talk about that book because I didn't finish it until December. But I have another, all of the books for the month of December that are on my TBR are actually low stakes. But you know me, I like to pull some other books out. So I do have some more low stakes mysteries, thrillers for you guys as well coming in December. I'm very excited about them, and I'm getting all the cozy feels. feels in these books that I'm reading. So very excited about that. How are you guys handling the fact that we're at the end of another year? What have you read in November that just stands out? Share it down in the comments. And I am very, very appreciative of you guys. I like to do these for fun. So for those of you who are new, my name is Sho'Shanna. Come back, join the family over here. And for those of you who are returning, y'all, I'm half asleep and it's only like 7:30, 8 o'clock. But I was like, no, I have to finish this for tomorrow. I tried to be an adult and I went out to an event and I was going to bring like somebody with me. And I was like, no, you can go to this event and you can talk to people. Like, it's okay. I walked in and I saw all the people there and I was like, this is why I wanted to get there like right at the start of the event. So like I wouldn't be the person walking in. And then this is also why I was like, I really need like a person here for like emotional support. Like, I don't know. It's something about just walking in a room, walking up and talk to people that's not just for me. But I did talk to people. Did they have to initiate that conversation first? Yes. But I still talked to them. That's all that matters. So yeah, I'm kind of tired from that. Even though the event was like from 5:30 to 7:30, I'm old. I'm already ready to get my book, cuddle, and what my book and go to bed. But anyway, for those of you who keep coming back, thank you so much. I have my gift giving guide series that's going to be coming up. So the first one is actually going to be available. And if you've probably already noticed, so if you're new, because now I'm rambling, I usually only like do a video on Friday, but I'm actually this month, instead of doing like Vlogmas, I'm just going to do like 2 videos a week. So you'll have a video on Tuesday and Friday of every week. And the first of my gift giving guides are going to be out, specifically curated guides for things that I really, really love if you want to find really good gifts. So I'm going to have a total of 4 of them. So you should have all of them so next week you'll get the first 2, like the first one on Tuesday and then Friday, and then you'll get the next. So by mid-month, you should have all of those. So hopefully it's still time for the things that you might want to get that you can run into a store order. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to be our next set of videos. And then of course you're going to keep getting book videos from me. You are going to get reading wrap-ups. And I did not get to my year 4 of Harry Potter last month. So maybe there will be another Harry Potter video. Because I have a lot to say about movie 3. Like a lot about that one. So I'll see you next time.